हेलो साथीहरु, वेलकम टु लोकसेवा। आज फेरि पनि हामीहरु हजुरहरुको माझमा आइसकेको छौं अर्को भिडियो लिएर। आजको भिडियो भनेको कमन इन्ट्रान्स एक्जामिनेसनमा आधारित रहेको छ। यस भिडियोमा हामीले आज फिजिक्सको 2022 मा सोधिएको क्वेशनहरुको बारेमा छलफल गर्ने छौं। हस्त भिडियो सुरु गरौँ र भिडियो सुरु गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि यदि तपाईहरुले च्यानललाई सब्स्क्राइब गर्नुभएको छैन भने सब्स्क्राइब गर्न नबिर्सनु होला। साथसाथै यो भिडियोलाई शेयर र लाइक गर्न नबिर्सनु होला। र यदि तपाईहरुको माझमा कुनै कमन इन्ट्रान्स एक्जामिनेसनको एस्पिरेन्ट्स अथवा क्यान्डिडेटहरु हुनुहुन्छ भने उहाँहरुलाई फरवर्ड गर्न नबिर्सनु होला। क्वेशनहरु पास्ट क्वेशनहरु रहेकोले 3-4 पटक रिभाइज गर्न नबिर्सनु होला। हुन सक्छ एकचोटीमा कन्फिडेन्स नहोस्, तर 3-4 चोटी गरेर गएपछि तपाईहरुको कन्फिडेन्स बिल्ड अप हुनेछ। हस्त भिडियो सुरु गरौँ। पहिलो क्वेशन रहेको छ डाइमेन्सनल फर्मुला अफ म्याग्नेटिक फ्लक्स। यसको आन्सर रहेको छ mL2T-2A-1। अब कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि डाइमेन्सन अफ म्याग्नेटिक फ्लक्स इज इक्वल टु डाइमेन्सन अफ भोल्टेज इन्टु डाइमेन्सन अफ टाइम। सो भोल्टेजको हेर्ने हो भने mL2T-3A-1 हुन्छ र टाइमको डाइमेन्सन भनेको t रहेकोले तपाईको आन्सर आउँछ mL2T-2A-1। क्वेशन नम्बर 2, एस्केप भेलोसिटी अन द सर्फेस अफ अर्थ इज। यसको आन्सर रहेको छ 11.2 किलोमिटर पर सेकेन्ड। कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि escape velocity on the surface of earth is approximately 11.2 km per second. So यसको आन्सर रहेको छ 11.2 km per second। हुन सक्छ तपाईहरुले फिजिक्समा केही फर्मुलाहरु रिभाइज गर्नुपर्छ अथवा केही तपाईहरुलाई न्यूमेरिकल भ्यालुहरु पनि याद गर्नुपर्छ। सो त्यसको लागि एउटा चार्ट बनाएर अहिलेदेखि प्रिपेयर गर्दा हुन्छ। क्वेशन नम्बर 3, if product of mass and velocity is doubled then the new kinetic energy is times the original kinetic energy। यसको आन्सर रहेको छ ओरिजिनल काइनेटिक एनर्जी। अब कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि if the product of mass and velocity is doubled the new kinetic energy is 4 times the original kinetic energy, that is k is equal to half mv square। म्याथमेटिकली तपाईले हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ हामीले twice the mass and twice the velocity। सो यसको आन्सर हुन्छ तपाईले 4 times mass into velocity को स्क्वायर। सो यसको आन्सर रहेको छ 4 times the original kinetic energy। क्वेशन नम्बर 4, when the momentum of the body increases by 100% its kinetic energy increases by। यसको आन्सर रहेको छ 300%। अब कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि according to the search result when the momentum of a body increases by 100% its kinetic energy increases by 300%। To understand this we need to know the formulas of kinetic energy and momentum and find a relation between both these quantities। Kinetic energy is the energy acquired by a body due to its motion, while momentum is the product of mass and velocity of a body। So mathematically हेर्ने हो भने kinetic energy is equal to half mv square and momentum is equal to mv। So comparing both the equation, that is kinetic energy and momentum, we get kinetic energy is equal to p square upon 2m। So when momentum is increased by 100%, new kinetic energy becomes 4 times p square upon 2m। So the percentage increase in kinetic energy is equal to 300%। Question number 5, a cyclist moving on a circular track of radius 40 meter completes half revolution in 40 seconds। Its average velocity is। यसको आन्सर रहेको छ 2 meter per second। कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि average velocity for 40 second is 80 by 40 is equal to 2 meter per second। So the total distance is equal to twice the radius, that is 80 meters। So as he is on other end of diameter after 40 seconds and total time is 40 seconds। So यसको आन्सर रहेको छ 2 meter per second। Question number 6, if angular velocity of earth increases then weight of a body। यसको आन्सर रहेको छ no change at pole and decreases at equator। explanation हेर्ने हो भने if the angular velocity of earth increases the weight of a body would decrease at the equator, the same at the poles। Weight of an object depends on the gravitational force acting on it, which is given by W is equal to mg, that is mass into gravitational acceleration। The centrifugal force due to the earth rotation affects the weight of an object। As the angular velocity of earth increases, the centrifugal force at the equator, which opposes the force of gravity, becomes stronger, which means that the effective gravitational acceleration at the equator is slightly reduced compared at the poles। Therefore, the body would decrease at the equator point, option C, and remains at the pole, option D। So the correct answer is C, no change at pole and decreases at the equator। Question number 7, the height up to which water will rise in a capillary tube will be। इसको आंसर रहेको छ minimum at 4 degree Celsius। Height of rise in capillary is equal to 2t cos theta upon g delta gamma. For water, the density is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. So weight is minimum at 4 degrees Celsius. Question number 8. A car starts from rest and accelerates uniformly to a speed of 180 km per hour in 10 seconds. The distance covered by the car in that interval is, यसको आन्सर रहेको छ 250 मिटर. अब कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि we have mathematical equation रहेको छ v equal to u plus at with, अब तपाईलाई दिएकै छ फाइनल भेलोसिटी 180, इनिशियल भेलोसिटी 0, एक्सेलरेसन एन्ड टाइम. सो म्याथमेटिकली तपाईले सल्भ गर्नुस्, तपाईको आन्सर आउँछ 250 मिटर. Question number 9. Lifting of aeroplane is based on, इसको आन्सर रहेको छ Bernoulli's theorem. The lifting of an airplane primarily relies on Bernoulli's theorem. Bernoulli's principle states that as the speed of a fluid such as air increases, its pressure decreases. When air flows over the curved upper surface of airplane's wing, it travels faster than the air blowing beneath the wing, creating a pressure difference. This pressure difference generates lift, allowing the airplane to take off and stay aloft. So यसको आन्सर रहेको छ Bernoulli's theorem. Question number 10. The height to which a cylindrical vessel of radius r be filled with a homogeneous liquid to make average force with which the liquid presses the side of the vessel becomes equal to the force exerted by the liquid on the bottom of vessel is equal to, यसको आन्सर रहेको छ h is equal to r. अब कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि to make the average force with which the liquid presses the side of a cylindrical vessel equal to the force exerted by the liquid on the bottom of the vessel, the height of the liquid in the vessel should be such that the pressure at the bottom is the same as the average pressure on the side. The pressure at the bottom is proportional to the height of the liquid column above it, which means the height at which the liquid is filled should be equal to the radius to achieve this equilibrium. So इसको आन्सर रहेको छ h is equal to r. Question number 11. The center of mass of a system of two bodies of mass m and capital M and small m such that capital M is greater than small m separated by distance t lies near to capital M. The center of mass of a system of two bodies depends on their masses and their relative positions. In this case, we have two bodies of capital M and small m separated by a distance d. The center of mass of this system is calculated using formula x underscore cm is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 upon m1 plus m2. In this case, if capital M is greater than small m, then capital M will have greater contribution to the center of mass due to its larger mass. Therefore, the center of mass will be closer to capital M and will lie near to capital M. So, इसका आंसर रहेको छ lies near to capital M. Question number 12. The value of G decreases in going from surface to deep down the earth. What happens to the value of G on going to height h from the earth surface? इसको आन्सर रहेको छ decreases. अब कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि the value of acceleration due to gravity decreases as you move away from earth's surface, go higher above the surface. This decrease is due to the inverse square law of gravitation, which states that the force of gravity weakens with distance from the center of the earth. So if you are at height h above the earth's surface, G will decrease. Therefore, the answer is decreases. Question number 13. The slope of graphical representation of Ohm's law, that is voltage versus current, is, यसको आन्सर रहेको छ positive. किनभने slope that is delta B upon delta I हुन्छ. So slope is constant and positive. It means the resistance is positive and real. So the correct answer is positive. Question number 14. If a copper wire is stretched to increase its length by 0.1%, and percentage increase in its resistance will be, यसको आन्सर रहेको छ 0.2%. Mathematically तपाईले दिएको छ resistance is equal to RL upon A. When wire is stretched to increase its length by 0.1%, the new length is L prime is equal to L plus 0.1 upon 100 L, which is equal to 1.001 L. The volume of wire remains the same. That is, यसको आन्सर म्याथमेटिकली यसले सल्भ गर्ने हो भने तपाईको आन्सर आउँछ 0.2%. र यदि तपाईलाई भिडियो मन पर्यो भने लाइक र शेयर गर्न नबिर्सनु होला र च्यानलमा नयाँ हुनुहुन्छ भने सब्स्क्राइब गर्न नबिर्सनु होला. Question number 15. What happens to the product of resistivity and conductivity if the temperature of conductor is increased? यसको आन्सर रहेको छ remains constant. किन हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि The product of resistivity and conductivity of a conductor is a constant known as the electrical conductivity. The electrical conductivity is independent of temperature most conductors under normal conditions. So इसको आंसर रहेगा सर remains constant. Question number 16. Lift velocity is independent of इसको आंसर रहेगा सर length किनभने velocity of charge carries in a conductor is dependent on several factors but it is independent of the length of the conductor. So इसको आंसर रहेगा सर length. Question number 17. Which statement among following is correct in respect to G? इसको आंसर आएगा सर G is maximum at poles and minimum at equator. The acceleration due to gravity G is not same at all the surfaces of Earth. It is highest at the poles and decreases as you move towards the equator. This is because the Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's an oblate spheroid, which means it is slightly flattened at the poles and bulging at the equator. As a result, gravity is stronger at the poles and weaker at the equator. Question number 18. A proton and an electron enter in a uniform magnetic field perpendicularly with the same kinetic energy. Which of the following statement is true? इसको आंसर रहेको छ trajectory of protons is less curved. कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि in a uniform magnetic field the radius of the circular path followed by a charged particle is inversely proportional to its mass and directly proportional to its charge and kinetic energy. Since both the proton and electron have the same kinetic energy, larger mass and the same charge as the electron, the proton trajectory will be less curved compared to that of electron. So इसको आंसर आएको छ B number, that is trajectory of proton is less curved. Question number 19. Substance with highest magnetic permeability is इसको आंसर आएको छ ferromagnetic. Question number 20. An electron enters in a uniform magnetic field B with velocity v. If v and b are parallel with each other, then which is correct for the path of electron? यसको आन्सर रहेको छ no change in orientation. किन हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि if the velocity of electron v and magnetic field b are parallel to each other, electron will not experience a magnetic force that changes its orientation. The magnetic force acting on the charged particle is given by Lorentz force equation, and it is proportional to the cross product of the velocity and magnetic field. When these vectors are parallel, cross product becomes zero and electrons will continue to move in the same direction without any change in the orientation. In other words, there will be no deflection, circular path or parabolic path in this case. So इसको आंसर आएको छ no change in orientation. Question number 21. Self inductance of a coil is independent of यसको आन्सर आएको छ resistance. कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि the self inductance of a coil is independent of resistance. Self inductance depends on factors such as number of turns of wire, the cross sectional area of the coil, and the permeability of core material if present. It is the property related to the coil's ability to store energy in its magnetic field when current flows through it and influenced by the resistance of the coil. So इसको आन्सर आएको छ resistance. Question number 22. Frequency of AC in Nepal is इसको आन्सर आएको छ 50 Hz. Question number 23. Which of the following is true about nuclear force? यसको आन्सर आएको छ nuclear force is independent of charges. कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि unlike the electromagnetic force which depends on the charges of particles, opposite charge attracts and like charges repel, nuclear force acts between nucleus, proton and neutrons in an atomic nucleus and is not influenced by their charges. This strong nuclear force is what holds the nucleus together, forming the electrostatic repulsion between charged protons. The nuclear force is one of the fundamental forces in nature and it's much stronger than the electromagnetic force at short distance. So इसको आंसर रहेको छ nuclear force is independent of charge. Question number 24. Electron can be इसको आन्सर रहेको छ deflected by both magnetic and electric field. कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि the deflection of electron in a magnetic field is governed by the Lorentz force which act perpendicular to the electron's velocity and magnetic field lines. The deflection of electron in an electric field is due to the electrostatic force which depends on the charge of the electron and strength of the electric field. In many experiments and devices, both electric and magnetic fields are used to manipulate and control the motion of electrons. So इसको आंसर रहेको छ deflected by both magnetic and electric field. Question number 25. When beta decay of an element occurs, then the relation between the parent and daughter is that they are इसको आंसर रहेको छ isobar. when beta decay of an element occurs, the parent daughter nuclei have the same mass number but differ in their atomic number. Nuclei with the same mass number are called isobars. Question number 26. NOR gates functions as universal gates only. किन हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि NOR gate can be used as a universal gate, which means it can perform all the basic gates, that is AND or NOT, by appropriately connecting its input and outputs. It can be used to implement various logic operations, making it a versatile component in digital circuits. So इसको आंसर रहेको छ D, that is universal gates only. Question number 27. Power is transmitted from a powerhouse or high voltage AC because यसको आन्सर रहेको छ it is more economical due to the less power wastage. अब कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि this is because it reduces the power losses during transmission. When voltage is increased, the current decreases for the same power, and power loss is proportional to the square of the current according to the formula P is equal to I square R. By transmitting power at high voltage, power wastage, that is I square into R losses in the transmission line, is minimized, making it more economical. Question number 28. Which is the brightest star? यसको आन्सर रहेको छ ब्लू. कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि the brightness of a star is typically measured by its apparent magnitude. The apparent magnitude depends on the star's intrinsic luminosity, its distance from Earth, and its color. The color of a star is related to its temperature. Blue stars are often among the brightest stars because they are very hot and emit a lot of energy. Blue stars are more likely to be brightest. Question number 29. Antiparticle of electron is यसको आन्सर रहेको छ positron. Antiparticle of an electron is called positron. Positron have same masses as electron but carry a positive charge while electron have a negative charge. When an electron and a positron collide, they can annihilate each other, releasing energy in the form of gamma rays. So इसको आन्सर रहेको छ positron. Question number 30. Half cycle of C14 isotope is इसको आन्सर रहेको छ 5730, that is 5730 years. Question number 31. After 24 days, 2 mg of an original 128 mg sample remain. What is the half life of the sample? इसको आन्सर रहेको छ 4 days. यो कुन फर्मुला हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि यसमा बीटा डीके वाला फर्मुला युज गर्न मिल्छ. म्याथमेटिकल सल्भ गरिएको छ, तपाईहरुले हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ स्क्रिनमा. Question number 32. Which of the following wave cannot be polarized? यसको आन्सर रहेको छ sound wave. किन भन्दाखेरि light, X-ray and infrared can be polarized under certain conditions, but sound wave cannot be polarized under any circumstances. Question number 33. For real and erect object, convex mirror always forms. इसको आन्सर रहेको छ virtual and erect images. Convex mirror always forms virtual and erect images for real and erect objects. Question number 34. A boy of height 1 meter stands in front of a convex mirror. His distance from mirror is equal to its focal length. The height of his image is यसको आन्सर रहेको छ 0.5 meter. कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि 1 by v plus 1 by negative f is equal to 1 upon f, that is v is equal to f by 2. V is the image distance, u is the object distance, f is the focal length of the mirror. So mathematically तपाईले सल्भ गर्दै जाँदा तपाईको आन्सर आउँछ 0.5 meter. Question number 35. The nature of image formed by convex lens of object at 2f is equal to, यसको आन्सर रहेको छ same size. Question number 36. Speed of sound is greater in solid than in liquid because solid have high elasticity. अब रिजन यसको हेर्ने हो भने because solid have high elasticity. Elasticity refers to the ability of material to transmit mechanical waves like sound wave. In solid, the particles are tightly packed and have a strong intermolecular forces which allow for the efficient transmission of mechanical waves. This high elasticity in solid is responsible for the faster propagation of sound compared to liquids, where the particles are less tightly bound and have lower elasticity. The regular arrangement of atoms in solid, this option C, is also a contributing factor to the faster speed of sound in solid. So इसको आन्सर रहेको छ A number, that is solids have high elasticity. Question number 37. Calculate the number of electrons required to produce one coulomb charge. इसको आन्सर रहेको छ 6.25 into 10 raised 18. कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि स्क्रिनमा हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ तपाईहरुले पौज गरेर. Question number 38. The color of light which is deviated the most is इसको आंसर आएगा violet. The amount of deviation of light when it passes through a prism is dependent on its wavelength. Different colors of light have different wavelength. Violet light has the shortest wavelength among the visible colors, and because of this it experiences the most deviation when passing through the prism. In contrast, red light has the longest wavelength and it is deviated the least. So इसका आंसर आएगा violet. Question number 39. Radius of curvature of plano-convex lens is 10 cm and focal length of the lens is 30 cm. What is the refractive index of the material of the lens? यसको आन्सर आएको छ 1.33. कसरी आउँछ भन्दाखेरि तपाईहरुले स्क्रिन पज गरेर हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. मजाले फर्मुला हामीले एक्सप्लेन गर्दैको छौं. अब हरेक लाइन बोल्न थाल्यो भने भिडियो लामो हुन्छ, त्यही भएर स्क्रिन पज गरेर हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. यदि तपाईहरुले केही डाउट छ भने हाम्रो WhatsApp र Telegram को लिंक राखिदिएको छु, त्यसमा जोइन गरेर तपाईहरुले आफ्नो क्वेरी पोस्ट गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. Question number 40. Isothermal process is a thermodynamic process in which of the system remains constant. यसको आन्सर आएको छ temperature. Question number 41. Root mean square speed is यसको आन्सर आएको छ directly proportional to square root of temperature. Question number 42. Which process helps to generate power stroke in petrol engine? यसको आन्सर आएको छ adiabatic expansion. In petrol engine, the power stroke is the part of the engine cycle where the expanding high pressure gases generate a combustion of air fuel mixture exert force on the piston, causing it to move and generate mechanical work. This process is typically represented by an adiabatic expansion of the gas within the engine cylinder, leading to the production of power. Adiabatic expansion means there is no heat exchange with the surrounding during the process, and the work is done at the expenses of internal energy of the gas, contributing to the generation of power in the engine. So इसको आंसर आएगा सर adiabatic expansion. Question number 43. According to the kinetic theory of gas, absolute temperature is that in which kinetic energy is zero. Absolute temperature is related to the average kinetic energy of gas molecules. As the temperature approaches to absolute zero, the kinetic energy of gas molecule approaches to zero. This is the fundamental concept in the kinetic theory of gas and is the basis of Kelvin temperature scale, where absolute zero is 0 Kelvin and absolute zero the kinetic energy is theoretically zero. So इसका आंसर आएको छ kinetic energy is zero. यदि तपाईहरुलाई भिडियो मन पर्यो भने लाइक शेयर र सब्स्क्राइब गर्न नबिर्सनु होला. Question number 44. Change in temperature of the medium changes. इसको आंसर आएको छ wavelength of sound wave. Change in temperature of the medium affects the speed of sound. According to the formula, V is equal to under root omega p upon delta, where V is the velocity of sound, gamma is the adiabatic index, and P is the pressure, and delta is the density of the medium. The speed of the sound is directly proportional to the square root of the temperature. When temperature increases, the speed of the sound in the medium increases, and this leads to the change in the wavelength of the sound wave while the frequency remains the same, since the source is unchanged. So इसका आंसर आएगा छ wavelength of sound wave. Question number 45. Length of the wire is increased by 2%. Mass of 5 kg is hung. What is the linear strain produced in wire? इसका आंसर आएको छ 0.02. अब मैथमेटिकली सल्भ गर्यो भने यसको आन्सर आउँछ 0.02. Question number 46. A beam of proton and electron move parallel to each other in the same direction, then they repel. इसको आन्सर आएको छ repel. Protons are positively charged and electrons are negatively charged. According to the Coulomb's law, like charges will repel each other. Since proton and electrons have opposite charges, they will experience an electrostatic repulsion when they move parallel to each other in the same direction. This repulsion causes them to separate and move apart. So इसका आंसर आएको छ repel. Question number 47. A 6-volt battery produces a current of 0.5 ampere. What is the power in the circuit? यसको आन्सर आएको छ 3 वाट. अब कसरी हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि P is equal to V into I. अब म्याथमेटिकल तपाईले सल्भ गर्दै जानुस्, हेर्न स्क्रिन पज गरेर हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. Question number 48. Young's modulus of perfectly rigid body is यसको आन्सर आएको छ infinite. Young's modulus measures the stiffness of a material, and for perfectly rigid body, the value of Young's modulus would be infinitely high, meaning it would not deform under any amount of stress. So इसको आन्सर आएको छ infinity. Question number 49. Unit of illuminance is इसको आन्सर आएको छ lux, LUX. Question number 50. In a stressed string, the ratio of consecutive frequencies of sound produced is इसको आन्सर आएको छ 1:2:3. for 1 harmonic first harmonic frequency, 1f second harmonic minus frequency, 2f third, 3f fourth, 4f. So mathematically 1:2:3 is the right answer. हस् आजको लागि भिडियो यतिकै. यदि तपाईहरुलाई भिडियो मन पर्यो भने लाइक र शेयर गर्न नबिर्सनु होला. र यदि तपाईहरुलाई केही डाउट छ भने हामीले WhatsApp र Telegram लिंक राखिदिएको छु, त्यसमा जोइन भएर तपाईहरुले आफ्नो क्वेरी पोस्ट गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. हस् त अहिलेको लागि भिडियो यतिकै. अब अवश्य अर्को भिडियोमा अवश्य नै भेट्नेछौँ. हस्, थ्यांक यू.